Hello, welcome to 1 Hour SaaS. My name is Mubashir Iqbal. Everybody calls me Mubs. I'm building a SaaS business in just 1 hour a day. This is hour number 33 of building Podcast Ping, an uptime monitoring system for podcasters. So today I carried on with the production setup. Yesterday we got the hosting set up, and we installed the site and set up Stripe and all that kind of fun stuff. And today I focused on the act of like monitoring a podcast. So I set up the queue processor and set up the job to run that will actually do the checks, all of that kind of back-endy DevOps stuff. It's all working. I did run into one slight little hiccup, which had to do with production mode for the Tailwind compilation. I'll show you that, guys. I'll show you that in a second. Things are up and running. That's just my test site. Let me see if I can log into the production site. So if I go to podcastping.com, if I log in, I'm already logged in. So I added Full Stack Radio, which is from Adam Weatherman, Jack McDade. And so you can see here I'm monitoring both the RSS feed and the website, and they're all just returning uptime successful checks. So that's all good. The issue that I ran into was with these little bars here, because the utility classes for the background colors here weren't actually in the Blade file. There's a little helper that I wrote that let me just show you the code, I guess. So as we loop through and we show the background color here, you can see that there's a little helper utility that says what the background color is supposed to be, whether it's successfully passed the check or not. And because that utility class isn't in the Blade file, when I ran the production mode build for the Tailwind CSS, it purged those classes out of the CSS file. And so when I landed on this page, which is a blank row there was no, although the elements were there, they didn't actually have a background color. So just to get around that, I just kind of put a little variable that holds those classes in there. It's not exactly a fantastic way to solve that problem, but it solves the problem, and you solve it, and you keep on moving on. So that's all working. Just to show you a little bit about how I set up the application itself in terms of how it runs the checks. So in Forge here, you can see if I go to the server, there's a scheduler that runs every minute, that runs the schedule run here. And then in the kernel for here, you see that basically I run every minute these checks. And then the check here, it kind of loops over the podcast, and I've got to fix some stuff here, but we haven't got that far yet. And then it kind of schedules it puts into the queue to run a check for each one of these individual jobs here. And then so at that point, the queue processor takes over. So you can see here that we've got, I think I actually just added it on the actual site. So if you go into Podcast Ping, you'll see that there's a queue processor running that will actually run, all of the jobs in that queue. And it's just using the Redis server that's on the machine. And then, so that just kind of schedules the job. And you see I just refreshed, and we got some more job history here every minute it's just hitting those servers and hitting the RSS feed, hitting the website, and making sure that they're still up. So so that was it for today. Just kind of, it worked locally. I need to make sure it worked on the production server as well, and so that appears to be working now. And so tomorrow, I think I'm just gonna just carry on checking those things, make sure everything's working okay, and then we'll kind of look at those stats and make sure everything looks okay on that. We'll probably, once we've collected enough stats, we'll probably need to make some updates in terms of how the interface works here, in terms of filling out that stuff. But that's why I wanted to get it into production, so I could start to collect that information, and that'll give us more information to actually work with. And then I'm going to start adding the blog feature, and we'll build out this subscribe feature as well. And then we'll be ready to go live. Not that we're not live already, but we'll actually be able to soft launch and hopefully try and get some feedback from some folks. Update this picture and everything else like that. So yeah, that's it for today. Hope to see you next time. See you. Bye bye.